SQL Island, and my name is Benny Ifeanyi, and the data analyst and Excel learning community is really brought to you by UrBizEdge, and UrBizEdge is a Microsoft Excel consulting, financial modeling, business intelligence, and data analysis solution firm in Nigeria. We specialize in helping companies and high-value professionals be on top of their business data. We're also developers of the Nigeria Stock Analysis Dashboard and the Nigeria Financial Markets tool, which I'm adding on the Microsoft Office store. So a little bit about me. I'm a data analyst and trainer at UrBizEdge. Also an open source contributor and also a technical writer as well. So today we're going to get started in. Okay, so your hands raised up. Is there a question, Simon?
No,
No. Okay.
sorry.
So we're going to be starting with SQL Island, and SQL Island is this game for where you learn about how to use SQL. Okay, so when you first log into the website, if it's not going to look like this, you'd be getting it in Portuguese. So you need to come here and change the language. So I've changed it already. That's why everything right now is in English, which is great. Okay, so the idea of the game is that you got crashed. You're the survivor of a air crashed, and you are stuck on this island in a village, and they are trying to get out of the island. So you need to use SQL to get out of this island. So we're going to be writing some SQL here, and we're following the instructions given to us. Okay, so just like I mentioned, there's a list of an air crash, and there are some villages. Okay, so the game just helps you learn about SQL and all of that. So first of all, they said they want to see a list of all the habitants. So you need to write an SQL query here, and to do that, use the select. So you want to see a list from. Okay, so all the tables are here. So there are three different tables you are working with. You're working with the village table, which has the village ID numbers, the names of the people and the chiefs. You have the habitants table, which we're going to use now to bring out everybody in this village. And this is what to bring out the list. Then you also have another table, which is called the item table, which has different items and their owners. So we'll write the name of the table here, and we run the query. Okay, so it has so far given us a list of everybody in the village. This is everybody in the village. Great. So there's so many people. Okay. So so at the moment he's saying that he needs to go and find a butcher to ask for some free sausages and all. So we have to look for everybody in the village that is friendly. So if you look at the table we have here, we have these are the ID names, these are the names, these are the village ID, this the gender, the job role, gold and state. So the state is there are two different states. These are the person is evil or the person is friendly. So I have to get the list of everybody that is friendly. So when you want to get this, kind of like how you do filter in Excel or even in your Power BI, in SQL there's a statement or a command that's called the where command. So we're going to use the where command. Another thing you should know about SQL is that though I write everything in capital letters, SQL is not really case sensitive. You usually put the capital letters and you use this because it makes it more readable. Anybody that picks up your query can be able to understand what you're trying to do. So we're going to use where and where the state is equals to friendly. So just like in Excel, where you're writing something that is a text, you put it in like in a quotation. So why it's friendly. It doesn't make sure you spell it correct and you submit your query. Okay, so it has a list of everybody. Yeah, I can see who is friendly on the island. And now it's trying to find out those that have a sword. So we're going to have to find out those that have a sword. So it's not so he wants to find out those that can afford a sword for him. So we're going to put this and we're going to use the and because we want those that are friendly and like also forge this sword for him. So where the person is, the job of the person is equals to a weaponsmith. So I close the question and you can use this to close your query and submit it. Okay. But there's only at the moment only one weapon smith, and he wants to find out those that also have, maybe they're not exactly a weapon smith, but maybe they're either a blacksmith or any kind of smith actually. So we're going to use, for you to use a white card, just like how the Excel has a white card. SQL has various white cards. One of the white cards is the percentage sign. So the percentage sign allows you to give either put it in the beginning of it. That means there are a lot of characters, there are multiple characters, or there are more than one characters that are before this particular word. So you use it along with the command codes like, and you put the quotation sign here. So only one those are Smith. If you want those, if maybe there's something behind the Smith, we'll put the white card there. But it's just something before the Smith you want. We just want to find the some when it's a Smith. So we submit it. And now we have a list of all the Smiths. So we have a weapon Smith, we have a Smith, we also have a blacksmith as well. Okay. So at the moment, so they said where is it going to? It's going to this wants to go and register itself as a citizen of the village. Okay. So that's been done for us. So at the moment he has an ID and they gave him the simple name which is stranger. Okay. Okay, so what's his ID number? So we need to find his ID. So to find his ID, we have everybody that's in the village, like every the village is in the village column. So we want to find out his ID number. So the quotation mark here means that we have that we want to get to all the columns, but it's only interested in the person's ID column. We're just going to write the person's ID. So the person's ID from the inability table, and where the person's name, the name they gave him is called stranger, is equals to stranger. Strange. Okay. Then we submit our query. Okay, so at the moment that's telling us we made the mistake. So from inhabitant versus ID, where the name is equals to STNG, stranger. So rows are missing. At the moment you can't find this query. It's misspelling correct. Person's ID from immigrant where the name is equals to SANGER bracket. Then find out what's wrong. So maybe it doesn't use dot. It looks okay. Okay, let me use maybe like give it. Okay, so maybe it was not exactly called stranger. So his person's ID right now is number 20. So we continue. Okay, so how much is sword? So his sword is 50 gold. So let's find out how many gold does he have. So we need to go back to the table and find out where we can see the amount of gold he has. If we look at the table, in the habitat table, he has the column for gold. So we want to find out how many gold does he have. So instead of us, we change the person's ID because we already know his ID gold. So we can put this, submit it. And at the moment, he has 0 numbers of gold. Okay. So You can't see that part. So there's another option to earn gold. So going for you to earn one gold, you need to go to work. And to go to work, you need to collect gold from those that are items, items that have no owners and we can't sell them. So we need to make a list of items that do not belong to anybody. And the clue is that we can use where the owner is known. Okay, so if we go back to look at our table and every item, we have an item table here. So we're going to select this time everything from the table. So we want to know the item, the list of items. I want to say maybe the owners. So from one the item table where the owner is equals to no. So where the column that's called owner is equals to is no. Okay, so these are a list of different items that have no owners at the moment. So that means we can sell this and get a little bit of goods. Okay, so I'm just checking so far any questions. Okay. Okay. All right, so we'll get a list of items. So the first thing we need to do, we need to update all these items as them, and they've showed us a clue of the commands. So these are the different items, and we need to update them that we're now the new owners of the item. And you can use the update the item. You said the owner to be trying to see where the item is a coffee shop. So a coffee cup, which is this item. But there are a lot of items, and we can't be doing that one by one. So we need to write a command now that is going to allow us set literally all the items as ours. Okay. So we're going to use the updates. Just want to update the table. We want to update the items table that we are now the owner. So we're updating the items table. And we're going to set the new owner, the column. He has a table, a column called owner. The new owner, which our ID is our ID number 20. Where the owner is. So I've set the owner now as no. So whenever the owner is showing no on this table, you should set the new owner as us or a stranger. Okay, so great. So now we have a list of list of the items that you have. Okay, so I want to find out all the items in yours. So we'll go and use our select. So whenever you're trying to get a list of something from a table, the select works. So you use the select from the items table. And now we have its ID. So where the owner is ID, where the owner is 20, or if I would do, yeah, where the owner is 20. Okay, so we submit this, and now these are all the items that were ownerless before. So the teacup, the ring, the coffee cup, and the buckets, they are now all belongs to him. So we continue playing. Okay, so we might find a list, find a friendly inhabitant, which is a dealer or a merchant, and we want to buy these items. And you should remember how to use the and or. So there's a difference between the and or. So the and means that the two parameters or the two conditions have to be true. So for example, if I say I want a number that is greater than 20 and it's also less than 30, that means the number we want has to be between 20 and 30. But if I say I want a number that is greater than 20, but also less than 30, but also less than 40, or also less than 40, that means a number that's greater than 20 is allowed, even 50, even though it's not less than 40. But as a number that is even 10 is allowed. As far as one of the attributes or one of the conditions is true, the or is going to pick them up. So let's try to get the list of friendly inhabitants. So we have to use the inhabitants table. So the inhabitants table, we also want where the states, like if you remember, we had a state column when the states of the person was friendly. So the person was friendly. Okay, besides the person also be friendly, we also want that the person has a job, and the person should be a dealer, like we wanted. But if we use and, is we're going to get a problem because there's nobody that is a dealer and also a merchant. So here we're going to use the or. And here we can use where the job column called job is also equals to merchant. So we could put everything there in a bracket. So I would tell SQL that this is what we want as well. So I submit. Okay, so we have a list of, sorry, please just give me a minute. Okay, sorry, I apologize for that. Okay, so worry. So we're trying to get a list of all inhabitants of these islands that are either dealers or merchants, and the person should also be friendly, since we only want those that are friendly to do business with. So we got that. Like I mentioned, when we meant that we use a bracket, we could put the brackets here. If, for example, if we started with the job search for the state, we might have to have kept a bracket to make sure to tell it that we wanted these are those that are that the all should affect only the jobs and these two jobs. So I press continue. Okay. So I'd like to get the rings and the teacup. The rest is nothing but scraps, and give these two items to the lady, and she's person's ID number 15. So we need to update the items again. So two items that belongs to us. Among all the items, she's only interested in the teacup and the ring. And so we need to update it that the teacup and the ring now belongs to ID number 15. So we're going to use back again the ID. So we're going to use update. So we're going to update the items, the column that's called items, and we have the set. So another thing I don't think I mentioned this is you can write your query as a very long, like for example, put owners, which is set the owners to be number 15, where the item is either a ring or the item is equals to a teapot. Yeah. So we can write this, and if we put submit, it should work. Yes, but the problem with this is that your queries can be very long. So you usually put every command on. Usually put every command on. Usually start every command on a new line for again readability. But chance if it's not going to work, if it's straight, just everything's on the line, it's going to work fine. So continue. Okay. So so what this command does now is it sets it went to the inheritance table and it sets our gold. The gold should be whatever amount we have at the moment plus 120. So that means she's paid 120 for both the ring and the teapot. And it sets it to ID number 20, which is us. So now we should have 20 gold coins. So we continue. But unfortunately, the 120 gold coins is not enough for us to. It's not enough for us to buy a sword, which we want. So that means we need to so it's time for us to apply for a job. And for us to apply for a job, we need to change our name from strangers to a different name. Okay, so we're going to again set the names to be it. So again, for you to do that, you're also going to use the updates clause. So we're going to use the update the inhabitants table. We want to set the new name of ours. So I'm just going to use my name. And want to set it that where the person's ID. So to make sure that we set the person's ID is equals to ID number 20. So let's submit our query and find out. Okay, great. That worked. Okay, so unfortunately, that's done. I've changed our name, so now we can apply for a job. So baking is one of his hobby, and we need to find a list of bakers. But however, he's trying to target the vicious breaker in town, so you can work on the other one and maybe just to get more pay. I think that's a little bit smart. But yes, okay. So let's see that. So we need to get a list of all the bakers, and we don't also want the list of bakers. We want to get a list and find out who is the most paid baker in town. So to find out who's the most paid baker in town, we're going to want to get a list. So we need to use the select clause. So we want to select from this is the table that has everybody's jobs. We're going to use this table. Inhabitants. We want to find out where the person's job is equals to the person's a baker. And we don't just want to find the person's a baker. We want to find out those that want to find the most paid. So where the goods to do it in a descending order. And we submit. Okay, so Paul Bakerman is the richest. He has 815 golds, and he's also friendly. Okay, so we continue. So okay, so that he wants to work as a baker, and he's going to pay 1 gold for every 100 bed rolls. That's a lot. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is to, let's see. Okay, so you updated and set the gold to gold plus 100 minus 50. Okay, so 8 hours later, he already made 10,000 bed rolls and quit. That should be enough money to buy a sword. Let's see how many. That's what our balance with my gold is. It's supposed to strongly. So now you can go everywhere. Okay, so you've gotten this sword. So right now they inserted the new item list, the value as swords to me. Okay. So is there a pilot on the island that any chance I could fly him home? Okay, so we need to find out which of the people on this island is a pilot. Okay, so we'll use the baker and we're going to use pilots, PILT, and we submit the list. Okay, so yes, there's actually a pilot on the island. However, the pilot has been kidnapped. Okay, and his name is Otto Taylor. So we continue. So the pilot is being held captive by 30 days, and he needs to show us a trick on how to find out the name of the village that this guy lives in. So right now, do write a query which is called select village.name. That's village.name from village and habitants table. So we're trying to use 2 tables. And when the village ID number is equals to the habitants ID number. So when you join these 2 tables, where the village ID number in the habitants table is also equals to this one, is joined on that with those columns. And the habitant's name is equals to let's see this. So the 2 tables are rejoined because the name of the village is not found in the habitat table, but the name of the village is found in the village table. So we need to use an SQL join to join the 2 tables. And you join them using this is where it was joined on the village.id. So the village column, village table, the village.id column, and the habitants table, but the village.id table. So because we expect that they are both the same thing. So this one's a primary key, and the other one is this primary key, and this is a foreign key to this table. So that's where it was joined. And then we now find out which of the habitants' name is here. So it gave us the name of the village, and this is the name of the village. So Onionsville. So we continue. So yeah, it's called a joint and it combines tables together. So we continue. So for the int, but we use the joint now by ourselves. So find out who's the chief, who was the chief name of so there's a clause. So I think I saw a question. So I can join using where without using an inner join or the joins clause. No, yes, actually you can. Yes, you can, but otherwise it's usually better you use the where because sometimes this might get or the join because sometimes this might get a bit confusing. But you can join without using the join. Okay, so we're also going to use the join right now to find out which of the chief name, what's the chief name of this village. And for us to do that, so let's try using the join. So we're going to select, so the name of the chief is in the inhabitants table. Okay, so the chief, okay, this is the chief and the name. Okay, so the column chief in the inhabitants table, in the table of the ID is stored there. So the person's ID is stored there in the column chief, in the column chief. So we select the inhabitants table dot name. So we're going to find the name of the person. However, we're getting this from the village table and the inhabitants table. So we're going to join them where the village.id. Okay, the village dot maybe okay, village dot chief. The column chief in the village table and the person's ID of the chief is stored there. So the person's ID here in the inhabitants table. Okay, so where the column dot chief is the same thing as the inhabitant dot person's ID. And we also want, beside this, we're finding for this particular village, Onionsville. So I'm just going to copy it to make sure I don't make a mistake. So what we want to know where the village dot name is equals to this, and we submit our query. Okay, so this is the name of the chief, Fred. Okay, so we want to ask him now about Dirty and the pilots. What does the chief know about this? So how many people are in this village? Okay, so it selects the count from the village where the village ID is equals to inhabitants. And the village, okay, where the village ID, okay. So there are 8 people in this Onionsville. Okay. So it's old captive in his sister's house. Should I tell you how many women there, or are you okay? Figure out that yourself. So the ID should have gender as F. Okay, so I want to find out how many women are in this village. So we're going to count the asterisk everybody from the village and inhabitants table, where the village because village.id. So yes, it's called village.id. Okay, village.id is also equals to the inhabitants. What's done is at the inhabitant.id table. The village.id table. Okay, where the village name is here, and also beside the village name, we also want to find out the gender. The person says in this village, and the person is also a female. Okay, so there's only one female in this entire village. Okay, so now what's the name of this lady? Okay, so we don't need to use a join now to get this. We can simply just get the name from, because name of everybody is in the inhabitants table. So where the persons in this inhabitants table. Okay, so give me a moment. The other speaker is yes. So right now it's 4:43. Okay, so sorry. So where the inhabitants table, we want to get the name from village the village ID. I'm not sure we know the ID of the village. Do we know the ID of the village? No. Okay, no, we don't know the village of the ID. So I think we're at this day. Where village is this, and the gender is 2. Okay, spelling error in this one. Yes. So the name of the person is Dirty Diana. Okay. So we essentially just use so we got the ID name. We have to use it to tables since we don't even know the ID number of the table, and the village names are not here, just the village ID, which we don't know yet. But we know the name of the village and the person is here. So this is the name of the person. So we continue. So if you hand over the entire properties of the number village, you release the pilot and show you what it contains of. So there's a town called there, and the entire property of this town is worth 8,980 gold coins, which is a lot. So breaking bread alone can solve my problem. If I continue working and selling items, I could earn more gold. That's what the gold venture for this, and how much gold is that? So I want to find out the number of gold size of all the habitants that has gold. That's a baker. So let's sum the habitants of gold, right? But we don't need habitants of gold because sum the. Yes, so once the number of goods, some of the goods from the habitants table where the job should be a baker. So where job is equals to the person consider a baker, or the person's job is either also maybe a dealer, or the person's job is also equals to a merchant. Have an X. I think it has an S. No, I don't think it has an S. Okay, so we submit this. So is the actually the goal of everybody works in this village that are bakers, dealers, and merchants. It looks like it's just less than half of the goal of what is demanding. So we can't even say we work to get that. So now writing the query that to give you the average number of the average gold that people own, depending on their jobs. So we select the jobs. What the query did is select jobs, summed up the gold number of goods, got the average from the habitants table and grouped it by the jobs and ordered it by the average gold. So ordering it in a descending order. So these the jobs of everybody. This is the sum of their goods, and this is the average good of anybody that has this job. I think there are just 1, 2. Yeah. So this is the average good. Yeah. So if you look at it, yeah, bakers actually get more money. You know, dealers actually do. No, butchers actually do before. Yeah, butchers get more money. Okay. Okay. So yeah, butchers owns 1 goods compared to. So how many much goods does the average? Does different have depending on the state? It's friendly. So I want to find out the good of people based on their states, not based on their job, but based on their states now. So loss gets the state of the person. You want the column called the state. You also want the average, and the average is AVD. So the average of the goods, where did it where we need to get it from the inhabitants table, where from the inhabitants table. Okay, so we're grouping it based on the states and based on, so we'll group it based on states. And also sort it by the average. Okay, so we sort it out. Okay, so the evil, those that are evil get they get way more growth compared to those that are friendly, or the kidnaps, or the question mark. So the other ways for him to pay the ransom is either he kills the kidnapper or he steals from the evil. So at the moment he has gone, I think. Okay, so he has deleted when the kidnapper is equals to death divs. Now, what will you do next? Okay, so now to release the pilot, since we have killed the kidnapper, so we're going to have to update the state of the pilot from kidnapped to friendly. So we're going to update the inhabitant. What is set the state to friendly. So anybody that is kidnapped at the moment, since we have freed them, to kidnapped, yeah, the kidnapped, yeah. So let's update this. So this is not correct. So the inhabitants shall be where the state is equals to friendly, or the state is equals to kidnapped. Ifeanyi the state. Okay, so I think there's something I'm missing here. Okay, so this unit, what we need to do, we need to set our state to kidnapped. I've updated this. Do you have a clue of what maybe I could be doing wrong? J'ai INS. Okay, number site comme ça là. VITAND. Okay, so we set the state as equals to friendly, and then we set the state. So where the state is equals to kidnap, set kidnap as friendly. Too few changes. Let me just try it since again. Here the any. Still not working. Okay, so I think maybe I didn't delete this person first. So let me try deleting and see that's works. So it's not what's getting down now. This is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so that was also do. So that's okay, this stuff. Okay, so yeah, so now release the pilot. So now we release the pilot. Okay, so we're going to update the inhabitants table. We're going to set it when the states of the pilots, those that are set as friendly, where there are current states, the set states. Yeah. The current state is kidnap. Yes, so now I've released the pilots and we're free. So now, okay, so I think we're about to get off the island. So take the code to this and as souvenirs and what a big adventure. So the set is now as immigrant and the ID number. So I guess we're freed. So we continue. So the game is over. We can get a certificate of completion at the end of the game. So we click on certificates. This could be a certificate of completion. But if you, for example, you want to change the name of, you want to change the name, you know how to change the name of yourself. I don't know. Does anybody know how you can change the name?
No.
So you can use the updates again. You can also update the name you give yourself. So like when you're updating your ID number was 20. Your ID number was 20. So we can update set the name as you give yourself a new name. So for example, I can put my full name here. But I'm going to put it where my person's number is equals to this, and let me submit. Okay, so now there's a new certificate. And yeah, so it gets a new, so it has your name now. So if you use a different name in the beginning, you can always update it. You just have to update the name you give yourself. So that's it. The game is over. Okay, so I don't know. Are there any questions at the moment? Yes. All right. So so again webinar we recorded will be later brought. Will later be on the YouTube channel. So by tomorrow the videos are ready on YouTube, and you should also check out UrBizEdge.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we have another session in. Okay, you have a question.
Yes, I have a question. And thank you so much for the training. But there is something
Okay.
I don't have any prior knowledge in data analysis. So I don't know if there will be any opportunity for me to be trained from the scratch something like that. So I don't know.
Okay, so our advice you start with Excel actually. Like when you start this analysis, always start with Excel. Then after Excel, you can now move to, if you know Excel, you already know other sheet applications. You already know how to you already know how to use, you should know how to use Google Sheets if you already know Excel. Then you can now go to your BI tools. So either Tableau or Power BI. Though Power BI is more used here because of the Microsoft adaptation. Then you can now move into SQL as well. But we offer trainings, and we have, if you go to classes or UrBizEdge, we also have some free courses there as well. And if it's from scratch, on our YouTube, there's okay, so the SQL training, the Excel training, there's not the recent ones. There's a structured like course or videos. Okay, let me so see it here. So
Okay.
there are like videos you can go. So you start from starting, start from this. So just go to the very ending. The recent ones are like webinars. So you can go to there. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and it stops at, yeah. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3. So it stops here. Stops. Okay, see. So it stops here. So video 20. So video 1 to 20, and there are like 20 minutes, 30 minutes with some course, with some, what I call it, some workbooks which you can practice along as you are watching the videos. I don't know if that helps.
Okay. Thank you. So that is UrBizEdge. I should go there.
Yeah, UrBizEdge. Yeah, UrBizEdge. Yeah. Or you can,
Okay.
or even on YouTube, it's something you can also type it. Then in an hour time, by 6 o'clock, we have another session in an hour time. That's this. So we're going to be looking at Kimt with Maria. She's going to show us like an introduction to what Kamit is. So Kamit is more of like an open source data analysis platform. So for data analysis, for data management, she's going to show us how to use it as well as resources as well.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. So I'm ending the session now. And thank you everyone for joining. And apologies for the whole technical difficulties at the beginning.
You're welcome.